At what point do you start to panic? In everyday life, you might have some time to reflect, though that isn't always the case in a 7-game playoff series. That's the dilemma the Milwaukee Bucks have, as they lost the first 2 games of their series to the Indiana Pacers. While the Bucks play the next 2 at home and have future Hall of Famers who can take over games, they've entered dangerous territory. I'm going to take a deeper dive into where the Bucks have struggled and why their season could be on the brink. One thing about the playoffs in the early rounds, especially, is they can come down to matchups. This can even out over a series, and sometimes you have 3-point shooting variance. The Bucks went 3-1 against the Pacers this regular season, though the teams split the matchups after the trade deadline. In both of those games, the Bucks defense struggled as the Pacers had an offensive rating of at least 117 in both contests. That has continued so far this series, as the Pacers through 2 games have had an offensive rating of 121.8 per 100 possessions. A reason you could cite for this is the Pacers have shot 41% from 3 as a team through the first 2 games. Though here's the problem. According to the NBA's tracking data, only one of those attempts has been tightly contested by the Bucks, and 47 of their 70 attempts from 3 have been considered wide open, where the closest defender is 6 feet or further from the shooter. It doesn't help that the Pacers are getting these shots in a variety of ways either. As we cross half court, Tyrese Haliburton passes the ball to Pascal Siakam, who is defended by Giannis Antetokounmpo, though Siakam hands it off to Aaron Nesmith, which results in a switch. Nesmith then passes it to Haliburton, and Nesmith sets a quick ghost screen before Miles Turner sets one for him at the top of the key. Following that, Brook Lopez tags Turner after the screen and is now defending Haliburton in isolation. Having Lopez defending a guard on an island is a lot to ask of him, and this is a matchup the Pacers want. Also notice that as Haliburton works inside the arc, Miles Turner is now relocating to the right corner. Once Haliburton gets a step on Lopez in the paint, Giannis rotates over from the right baseline to help. Though guess what that leads to? Turner wide open in the corner. Haliburton finds him, and Turner buries the open triple. The Bucks in both games have also tried playing zone defense for stretches, though that hasn't helped. This is from game 1, and as TJ McConnell brings the ball up and Siakam gets to around the nail, you can see the Bucks are in a zone here. The Pacers move the ball, and as Pascal initially gets downhill, make note of number 3, Thomas Bryant, who is along the left baseline for later in the play. Siakam gets the ball back, and now has a size advantage on Kevin Porter Jr., though as he starts backing him down, look at McConnell in the right slot prepared to cut. Following this cut, where TJ's in the paint, look at the Bucks' defense as Siakam's getting downhill. Gary Trent, who initially followed McConnell's cut, is now on the ball, and Bobby Portis is tagging the cutter. So look at the bottom right corner. There's Thomas Bryant, who relocated and is wide open. Pascal finds him, and it leads to another wide open corner 3. Given the mismatches the Pacers can create, the Bucks have also struggled against pick and roll, including passes, where they rank near the bottom of playoff teams so far, allowing over 1.1 points per possession, though some of this has been a result of defensive breakdowns, and some of those have been very questionable. Tyrese Haliburton handles the ball here, and while he has Giannis defending him, is waiting for Miles Turner to come up and set the screen. Though as Turner sets a screen on Brook Lopez, Giannis doesn't go over or under the screen here, which doesn't make sense, as I've already mentioned how the Bucks wouldn't necessarily want Lopez switched onto a guard here. Though once Lopez works through the screen, Haliburton blows right by him, and it leads to an uncontested dunk. Haliburton here is defended by Kyle Kuzma and is waiting for Turner to set a screen. As he uses the screen, look at Haliburton now around the right elbow. Kuzma switched on to Miles, who is rolling to the rim, and Bobby Portis came up to help on the ball, though it looks like Tyrese is going to throw a bounce pass that leads to a Turner dunk. This results in Gary Trent, who is defending Aaron Nesmith, to rotate and help on Miles, though Tyrese anticipated this and finds Nesmith, who hits the clean look from 3. The Pacers have also been incredibly efficient against the Bucks out of isolation, including passes. I highlighted some examples earlier, though through 2 games, the Bucks have allowed 42 points out of this action, and the Pacers are either attacking mismatches or creating shots for teammates. Andrew Nembhard gets the ball in this possession and is isolated against Giannis. Now as Andrew has the ball, notice that Pascal Siakam on the right side of your screen is between Bobby Portis and Kyle Kuzma. As Nembhard handles the ball, Damian Lillard's around the top of the key, pointing out that Miles Turner is running inside the arc. Kuzma switches on to him, though as Nembhard gets to around the free throw line, notice Siakam has relocated to the right wing, and Bobby Portis is still in the paint watching the ball. I get these are split-second decisions in real time, but you can't afford to leave a multi-time All-Star that open in a two-point game. Nembhard finds Siakam, who hits the triple to make it a two-possession contest. So what do the Bucks do the rest of this series? Looking at the numbers, the first adjustment appears pretty obvious. While Damian Lillard missed Game 1, Giannis, Brook Lopez, Kyle Kuzma, and Taurean Prince have started both games. In the 35 minutes those four have shared the court through two contests, the Pacers have outscored the Bucks by 31.5 points per 100 possessions. Based on what we've seen, Lopez, with how the Pacers have targeted him in space, or pick and roll more specifically, would lose minutes to Bobby Portis. This would also allow Giannis to play center, which provides more defensive versatility and is better for switching. Though the Pacers, in spite of the different lineups, have shown they can still generate good looks. The upcoming adjustments will be huge for the Bucks, as not only can adjustments potentially alter the results of this series, but the changes they do and don't make could also determine what they do this offseason, which could be a monumental one for the future of the Bucks franchise. If you made it this far, thank you, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on my in-depth analysis throughout the 2025 NBA playoffs.